So, Jason Whitlock gets a whiff of what Marcellus Wiley was cooking by way of a deflection for Stephen A's protection brought to him by way of a shield. You know what I'm saying? But it seems as though Stephen A miscalculated this spot bastard's appetite. And listen, man, you're gonna have to Stephen A. used more than a couple ad hominem attacks about Jason Whitlock's weight for you to shut him up because, man, this is something that he does all the time, man. But listen, yes, Jason Whitlock spoke to the dodgeball that Stephen A. tried to do when it came to Marcellus Wiley, but he had something even more interesting to say when it came to Keller Max. You know what I'm saying? And we're just gonna run with that this time.
Doing to Stephen A. Smith throughout their time together on First
Hold up.
Take. What Max Kellerman did and was doing to Stephen A. Smith throughout their time together on First Take. Max Kellerman was trying to damage Stephen A. Smith's reputation with the black audience. Marcellus talks about.
Hold up. Now, Jason Whitlock, we've seen this little spiel already. So we over here with these mega facts already know that Whitlock is going to start off saying that Keller Max did it on purpose, and then he's going to end saying that Keller Max, like this is just who he is, and he didn't do it maliciously and things of that nature. So you can pick either side to run with and all of that. But this is the thing, man. We don't believe Keller Max did it on purpose, but the fact does remain that it happened as far as Stephen A ruined his image as far as putting a white who on stage with him and getting outdone when it comes to black political issues. No, we don't think Keller Max did it on purpose. We believe that that's just who he is you know anyways.
We didn't show you the clip where he went into detail about how Max grew up, knows more about rap music. Max has the right position on Colin Kaepernick. Marcellus basically insinuated that he agreed with Max Kellerman's position or take or the way he was seen as he's blacker than Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, and this is cap too because no, Marcellus Wiley did not. He literally said that he did not agree with that. You know, but like we said in a couple videos ago, man, if you take Stephen A's words and you take Keller Max's words and you put them on a piece of paper and read them out, it does sound like um, Keller Max's words are coming from a black person and that Stephen A's words are coming from a non-black. And listen, man, this is another thing. We over here with these mega facts actually did agree with a lot of what Stephen A was saying when it came to Kaepernick back in the gap. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Stephen A just every time Keller Max came out with the cape for the black people, Stephen A just got so pissed off, man. He just got so pissed that, he just looked wrong, whether he was wrong or not. And this is the thing, man. Stephen A isn't smart enough to argue with Keller Max whether Keller Max is right or wrong, typically, and that's a damn shame.
And I explained this to you all last week. Max Kellerman, in his right mind, should have defended and not put Stephen A. Smith in that position where Stephen A. would have the audience questioning his blackness. Now,
Hold up, man. Stephen A. This is what he wanted to do. No, what do you want Keller Max to do? Be somebody he's not? You want him to shuck and jive. You want him to be something he's not, man. And no, are you gonna be something you're not just for somebody who, wants to be something that they're not? Because Stephen A is not what he's trying to be as far as a black representation of anybody. All right? That's why when Kelly Max was coming with real situations when it came to black people, Stephen A didn't want to hear it. He just got pissed off because it's not, in his mind, it's not time to put the cape on for the black people. It's time to cook their ass. You know what I'm saying?
on a show with a white host, or at that time that was his belief, a white host who would play the role of Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was the guy that attacked LeBron, attacked Terrell Owens, attacked other black athletes, and that allowed Stephen A. Smith more latitude to defend some black athletes, criticize some black athletes, but Skip would always be the bad guy as it pertained to race.
Okay, so like we said, he wanted Kelly Max to be something that he's not. Listen, just to be a little bit more serious about this situation, Stephen A. Did you know that before you hired Kelly Max to be on well, not that you hired him, got him recommended to be on the show. Um, Kelly Max's brother got murked by a black man. You know, a troubled black man with big old issues. It's Kelly Max's brother got murked by a black man that he and his brother tried to reach their hand out and help. All right. So did you know this? And because of this uh emotional plight that he may be dealing with, you put him on up on that stage for him to cook the black people because you believe he might have some type of animosity towards the black people. You know, it's just a question, man. It's just a question.
He wanted Max Kellerman to play that role as well. As Marcellus explained, Max Kellerman had no interest in that. And not only did he have no interest in that, he sat on air and giggled when Terrell Owens said that
Oh,
Max is blacker than you.
hold up, man. We ain't about to let you do this shit, Whitlock, man. No, he did not giggle, man. Go watch the tape. You cap. He ain't giggle, man. He actually put his eyebrows down, trying to get away from the giggle. And it was Molly Cameron. It was Molly Cameron who tried to chuckle. I mean, who tried to cough away the chuckle, man. Come on, stop it, man. Keller Max, Keller Max ain't know what the damn say. You know what I'm saying? All he did was say, "You go ahead, Steven. Now you handle the shit." You know, should he have came out the woodwork and, on some thou dost protest too much type of kick and be like, "Oh, come on, Terrell, Terrell, that's just egregious. That's not true. That is not true, Terrell. Don't say that, Terrell. You know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe you should have did something like that. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, but man, what I mean, you do all of that, you might do a Molly Karam and laugh a little bit because it's funny. Anyways,
He allowed that narrative to be built. It could have been for Stephen A. Smith, who defines success by money and how much money he can earn. That's his worldview on what success looks like. What Max was doing could have very well cost Stephen A. Smith millions of dollars. Could have.
oh my goodness, man, he did it to himself. He didn't hire the right. He didn't recommend the right personnel to get hired. All right. He didn't do his homework on Killer Max. Well, listen. How about this? If he went up in that first initial meeting and said, "Listen, you have to be Skip Dog Russo," you know what I'm saying, and Killer Max agreed to it, and then he comes out the woodwork flaming the shit out of him on these black issues, man. Okay, yes, we can understand why Stephen A is so mad. Listen, we understand why he's mad either way, But the fact of the matter is that if you thought Stephen A that this was going to fly for an extended period of time, you're insane. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stephen A. This was hilarious. Jason Whitlock, you got the cap on, acting as if Keller Max is doing this to Stephen A. or was doing this to Stephen A. on purpose, while taking a cap off, acting as if, you know, Keller Max is just being his authentic self, and that just is what led to Stephen A. getting cooked and pretty much ruining his image. You know, we don't believe Keller Max did this on purpose. We believe that uh, based off of who Stephen A. is and based off of who Keller Max is, them being on TV talking about racial politics for any extended period of time was going to make Stephen A. look bad because he doesn't have the articulation enough to go back and forth with a guy like Keller Max, because all he's gonna do when he gets cooked is be like, I mean, whether he's right or wrong, he'll know that or believe that he's right, but because he can't explain himself in you know an articulate enough way, he's going to get pissed and he's gonna look at Keller Max with, did I say something about throwing a punch and all of this old BS that he did, man. Shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to Keller Max, man. We don't believe he did this on purpose, my guy. Listen, Jason Whitlock. They're all not all of them are sinister people. You hear what I'm saying? You hear us, YouTube? We don't believe that all of those people are sinister. And listen, we don't believe Jason Whitlock does either. All right, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the peep those. Shout out to them people. Shout out to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. You know what I'm saying? Jason Whitlock believes that Shannon Sharp did the same thing to Skip Bayless. He thinks that he's insinuating that Shannon Sharp did it on purpose, even though he got it done to himself as far as getting fired. He didn't do anything to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless tried to trick his ass out, and that tricked Shannon up out of his seat on Undisputed. So, what exactly did Lachey do to him? That Skip ain't do to Lachey first. That got it done to his ass back. Anyway, shout out to Jason Whitlock. This was good. This was funny. We are enjoying the back and forth feuds between the sports media, man, instead of the feuds between athletes and the sports media fanning the flames towards the athletes, cooking them. We are we believe that this is their time. You know what I'm saying? To get their ass fried, and we loving it.